All right, it's 7:30, so I think we're going to start. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Board of Education regular meeting. This meeting is being held remotely in accordance with Section 6 of the Illinois Executive Order issued on March 16, 2020. Could we have a roll call, please?
Laude,
Here.
Livingston,
Here.
Munsell,
Here.
Parsons,
Here.
Rolowitz,
Here.
Teterich,
Here.
Savage Williams.
Here. Okay, thank you. So we will just go through the agenda. The first item on the agenda is written communication. Dr. Bravis, do we have any written communication?
We have no written communication this evening.
Okay, thank you. All right. The next item on the agenda is we're at information. We have we'll have a discussion around the 2020 to 2021 and the 2021 to 2022 school calendars. And I believe Keith Robinson is here to help us with that discussion. Hello, Keith. You're muted, Keith. You're muted.
And now I'm not.
No, you're not.
Hi.
No, we lost your
What
visual.
your face is.
Am I looking okay?
You look great now. There you go.
All right. How's everyone doing?
Good.
Good.
How are you?
Good. Very good. Thank you. So we had 5 meetings during the course of the school year, and we were pleased to make a couple of recommendations. And those recommendations should be in the calendar, in the packet that you guys have. I'm very happy with the makeup of the committee. We did have parents and community members and staff, union representation, administrative support as well. So it was a nice, well-rounded committee who in the end, we agreed to come together and submit this as a recommendation to the board for the next 2 calendar years. Next school year, there were no changes from the board-approved calendar for the 2021 school year, but the 21-22 school year is one that we're recommending as a draft for the calendar year.
And Keith, thank you very much. I'll just point out to the board, you'll first of all see that both of these calendars are pretty similar. So there's nothing real drastic happening from either of the 2 years. And I know the board always wants to know, we have coordinated our winter break and our spring break with District 65.
Yeah, thank you, Eric, for making that.
Right. That's always been a question, and we want to make sure the community is aware of that as well.
Yes.
All right.
I'd love to entertain any questions about the process or the logistics, if there are any questions. If not, you know, I submit that as a recommendation to be approved.
Great. Thank you, Keith.
Any questions by any board members have questions? You've had a chance to look at that. It's been in the packet. So hearing none. Thank you, Keith.
My pleasure. And again, I just really want to thank the community for their efforts and the committee for their efforts and spending so much time and really kind of hashing things out. So I really appreciate their efforts.
And I know it's a long process. I have to admit that many years ago, when I worked for District 65, one of the first district committees I got on was the calendar committee because I thought it would be easy. And wow.
I think logistically,
I was young. I thought, okay, I can do this.
Yeah.
It'd be easy.
I think logistically, we have this is my 3rd year here,
Yes.
and I think we're kind of have a routine now. So I think
Yes.
the committee understand and understand those processes, and
Right.
we get it done.
Yeah, there are a lot of details to make sure you pay attention to. So
Yeah.
great. All right. Thank you. Be well. Take care of yourself and your family.
Thank you, and you all be safe. Wash those hands.
Yes,
All right.
absolutely. Thanks, Keith. All right, the next item on the agenda is comments from the public. Public comments were due to be sent to us by email by 5:30 today. So Dr. Bavis, do we have any public comments?
Yes, we have one comment from the public, and in keeping with the protocol, I will read that comment right now.
Okay, thank you.
Dear District 202 School Board, my name is Joan Matthias Shelbert, and I am President of Teachers Council here at ETHS. These past 6 weeks have been extraordinary for public education, and reflecting on these unprecedented times, I want to publicly thank certain members of the administration. As a certified staff, we have been tasked with keeping our students engaged while in e-learning mode, and these people have made ETHS stand out as a beacon of success in Illinois. I want to thank Pete Bavis because he has consistently reached out to TC and listened to our needs and adapted the district's approach to successful implementation of the curriculum. He understands that we are on the front lines with our students. From setting up the live session schedule that eliminated conflicts to grading systems to curriculum adjustments, Pete has regularly reached out to TC to ensure that ETHS knew the concerns so he could address them. Because of his efforts, ETHS is firing on all cylinders while other districts are struggling with the e-learning model. I want to thank Mike Corcoran because of his amazing tech team that he has assembled to assist us in e-learning. From David Chan's incredible assembly of online tools to Midge Stocker's TAC programming prowess to the AV specialists, William Jenkins and Chris May, who have made live sessions possible. Mike's approach to technology in schools has made our transition from classroom to e-learning seamless. And for that, the certified staff at ETHS says thank you. I also want to thank to Dr. Marcus Campbell. As principal of ETHS, he has immediately reached out to TC and brought us into the process to make sure we do e-learning right. He set the tone of students and staff well-being as the highest priority, and he has worked with all levels of staff to make sure our students are getting what they need. He also acknowledges that some of us adults are suffering through this pandemic and created pathways for us to deal with our adverse situations. Marcus's compassion and leadership has created a collaborative environment to look out for all stakeholders, and that has made ETHS shine. There are many other people to thank, like Taya Kinsey's work to create a well-being check form to ensure no student goes unaccounted. Nicole Boyd and James Zackley, who have made the hub still connect students and staff. The custodians and engineers that are keeping the building safe and clean, and of course, our food service staff that have been making food available for our families in need. I want the board to know that the certified staff at ETHS are saying thank you because all of us are making this community proud to be Wildcats. Thank you.
Thank you.
And that concludes public comment for this evening.
Thank you. That's very wonderful. I really appreciated hearing all that. I really appreciated that. Thank you so much. All right. We have 2 FOIA in our packet, and board members, you've had a chance to look at those. Do you have any questions? Dr. Bavis, do you have anything to add?
No, the responses are in your packet. They're from Hammond and Gill.
Okay.
The FOIA is in question.
Okay, good. All right. We are at the action item, and the first action item is the consent agenda, which includes approval of special education transportation contract, approval of outdoor track equipment and installation, approval of yearbook contract, approval of minutes from March 17th, 2020, regular meeting, treasurer's report from February 2020, approval of bills, personnel agenda, appointments to staff, administrator, certified, and we received an addendum. Change of status, overloads, leave of absence, maternity, certified, resignation, administrator, exempt, retirement, certified, release, safety, and support staff.
And Pat, there is an addendum. Do you have it there, or do you want me to read
Yes.
it?
I do have an addendum, the addendum, appointments to staff, exempt, certified, I need you to circle, and let's see, is there anything else? Support staff. That's the addendum. Is that it?
That's it.
Can we have a motion for approval, please?
So moved. Second.
Roll call, please.
Could I just,
Laude,
well, could I just ask a question?
Sure, of course.
So I had raised in an email to, whoops, I'm on mute.
No, we had you. We could hear
We
you.
did hear
Oh,
you.
sorry.
You got it.
Backwards. I had raised with Eric a question earlier today via email about the item related to the track equipment and installation. And I would like to have just a brief discussion around this, and Eric, maybe you can iterate and clarify some of the points you made in our email exchange. The question I raised to Eric was, is it really the right time to spend this kind of money on track improvements in light of all that's going on in our community? And I say this recognizing, number one, that we have an allowed amount in our capital improvement plan, and this bid comes well within that budget line item. I'm also aware that construction is allowed even during the stay-at-home period, so that doesn't get in the way. And in fact, construction would probably be easier with nobody around using any of the equipment.
Yeah.
And I'm also aware that we have this fund accounting where it's more difficult to move funds around. The question I raised was simply, is it appropriate for us to be spending this kind of money in this time of just enormous uncertainty? And it just gives me a little bit of pause. I don't know how I'm going to vote, even as I sit here. It gives me pause, and I wonder if we should be waiting. So, Eric, maybe you can flesh some of this out a little.
Yeah.
I think it's important. And I should add that the other thing that I didn't mention in my email to you today was, I see that the city, which admittedly is in a much different financial position than our very well-managed school district, is cutting back on certain of their own capital improvement projects, which doesn't surprise me. And again, I want to reiterate, I think we've done a better job as reflected in countless awards that we've received, and thanks to the hard work of Mary Rodino. So could I just toss that out there?
Yeah, great. I think it's a great opportunity to also allow people to understand why it is a good time for us to do this, because you do raise a good question, and clearly we have to be thinking about these things. In this case, I think one of the advantages, first of all, would be that this is an industry that can indeed be working according to the governor's orders, and this would provide income for a lot of workers and their families. In addition, they have suppliers, and this would also provide keeping those businesses going and the like. So in terms of the current situation, I think it is a real investment in some families, and at the same time, it's work that really needs to be done. Probably more importantly is this project is actually funded by the debt certificates that the board approved that we passed. So this money can only be used for capital improvement program. This isn't money that we say, well, gee, let's put it to maybe more food and nutrition, more meals or something. We can't do that. With debt certificates that have been sold for this specific purpose, which is capital improvement, that is really the only legal usage for it. So I think the fact that we have the money, we've already issued the debt, the certificates, and we have a really good bid, lower than we anticipated on this project, and it will employ quite a number of people and their suppliers. I think actually, while the issue you raised, those don't go away, I think in this case, this project can have an awful lot of benefits.
I just a little follow up. Thank you. That's helpful, and I think it's important to understand. I think I feel more comfortable. What I would like to say is, going forward, and maybe at our next meeting, I think we need to think a whole lot more and have a little more discussion around issues like this, because we really have no idea where we're headed with this current environment. And I think we need to preserve what is a very healthy financial position. And I think it would be great, if we could have a little more discussion around all of that during one of our, what I'm sure will be at least a few more virtual meetings.
I think there will be a few more, yes, which is very sad in the sense that we're not seeing our students, but clearly we're going to need to address some of these things in some of those upcoming meetings.
Yeah, I just want to make sure we have that time, and that the board can weigh in, and we can be taught. And I don't really know what that discussion looks like. We're just in this massive pile of uncertainty right now. So just if we could all make a note of that. And I know it's hard to do these virtual meetings, so it's hard to have our usual back and forth, or it's just hard, and everybody has so many things on their plate right now. But I just don't want to let it go completely by the wayside just because we're stuck in this situation.
I think
Okay.
I think that your point of the fact that we are in such a state of uncertainty, we are in a state of uncertainty. So, and I personally, I don't know what the world's gonna look like in the future. I think that there will be lots of things changing, and I don't even know what that's gonna be. I don't know what it's gonna be like, but I don't know about everybody else, but I have to admit, shame to admit, that I'm getting used to Zoom meetings. Getting comfortable at it. I'm good at Zoom. God, I have learned so much about Zoom that when I see the letter Z, I think of Zoom. So,
if I can just add one thing, timing wise, to your point, Gretchen and Pat, we only have one more meeting before we start talking about the budget. So we don't have a crystal ball, but we're going to have to find one or something. The good thing is that the June budget discussions and what the board passes is tentative, and
right.
Maybe we'll have more information before then. But then when we come back in early September, hopefully we'll have a lot more information. As I mentioned to Eric today, for once we're fortunate to be in Cook County because those property tax payments were due sooner. So our property tax collections for the spring are right on where we thought they'd be. What will happen with payment due dates for the September 1st payment, who knows? So we'll have to talk about all of this sooner rather than later, because we just have that May 11th meeting, I think it is, before we have the one where the budget's on the agenda.
right.
And we also, Mary, I'm sure you knew, and just for everybody else, Fritz Keiki is talking about, instead of just reassessing the southern suburbs in this go around, he's talking about doing a reassessment of all of Cook County, so that it would take, his work would take into account the impact of COVID. Which will be very interesting if he can get it done and what it yields.
We'll definitely be talking about property taxes at the June meeting, if not the May meeting, for sure.
Yeah. Thanks.
Okay, there's no further discussion. We have a motion on the table, right? We do have a motion that's been moved in second. So can we have a roll call, please?
Laude,
Yes.
Livingston,
Yes.
Munsell,
Yes.
Parsons,
Yes.
Rolowitz,
Yes.
Teterich,
Yes.
Savage Williams.
Yes. Okay, thank you. All right, we are at old and new business. Do we have any old business? Echo, you want to give us a little information?
Yeah, I just thought since students has kind of drastically changed during these times that it would be important for you all to get a little window into
Can
that.
you speak up a little bit, Honor?
Oh, yeah.
Or lean into your microphone?
Yes, can you hear me now?
And that's Echo, not Honor, but we love them both.
I'll say hi.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, that was
I just
horrible.
love that. That is awesome. And she just responded, sure.
No
That's
worries. Can you hear me
sisters,
now,
yeah.
though? Is this good?
That's better.
Yes.
Okay, great. Great. Okay, so I'll start with students are continuing our studies while we're battling boredom, senioritis, and difficult circumstances in this time. Some students usually are able to walk to the next period class on autopilot, but now every day holds something completely unexpected. Luckily, Zoom extension was already downloaded on Chromebooks, and that was an easy transition for classes for a lot of people, as well as social use. Students have been able to use Zoom as a way to socially distance and also be interacting with another person, and that's been really fun. Support systems are also really important right now for students because obviously a lot of families are out of work or students are the ones working in their family. There's a lot of babysitting of younger siblings and family members while also doing schoolwork, and there have been amazing support systems that have grown out of this, like coaches reaching out to students, old teachers reaching out to students. The Friday song is a fan favorite of students. The Hub makes a new video every week. And obviously the Lights on Lazier and all that other stuff to celebrate seniors was really appreciated by students. Some cool other things that are going on is students have been excited to help out each other during this time, and ETHS students, alumni, families, and Evanston residents have worked together to make mutual aid organizations like Evanston Aid, as well as over 40 students participated in making 2,000 notes for each food bag that was distributed at community centers for Evanston students and their families, which was great to get so many students involved and also be reaching out to other students. And obviously a big thing is closure for seniors because nobody really knew that it was going to be their last day of high school. And people are definitely grateful that the administration, Dr. Campbell and Dr. Witherspoon, have been making it very clear that if it's possible, there will be prom and there will be graduation. But there's a lot of question marks for seniors, especially about what the future will hold, what post-secondary plans will look like for people. And so definitely a lot of hanging in there for seniors. And finally, social distancing can make us all feel isolated, but I hope that we're able to look beyond the 6 feet and see the amazing people who are smiling back at us with open hearts and doing a lot of really amazing work.
Mm.
Wonderful. Thank you.
I just want
Thank
to
you,
say,
Echo.
I don't know if you all caught that, but Echo and some students made 2,000 messages that went out a couple of weeks ago, just encouraging the community. So I just want to thank you, Echo, for pulling that off for us. Thank you so much.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you. Pretty amazing. Actually, it's been an amazing few weeks at ETHS, and just really watching all the efforts, the community efforts, the collaboration, the response to the new information, how fluid this whole thing is. and watching so many people step up. And it's just really, my heart has just been so moved by all the work of the administration and the faculty, reaching out to students, making sure that students are checked up on. Just amazing. The notes that went into the bags, the food bags, just those personal messages, just so many thoughtful things. And you're right, the lights on Lazier was pretty cool on Friday. That was really, really cool. Just so thoughtful. The Friday songs, I look forward to them. And it's just been an amazing few weeks. I joked about Zoom, but I just really feel like if this district has stepped up, even in this uncertain, unprecedented time, this district has stepped up. And I don't know, like Gretchen said, I don't know what's ahead. And I've had personal moments of fear and anxiety, but then I remember how this district responds to the uncertainties and the challenges. And I feel some comfort. I feel lots of comfort in that. So anyway, that's my unplanned sale. Any other business? New business? I guess everything's new. Everything's new. All right, so before we adjourn, sort of in keeping with that, I want to ask everybody to really take care of yourselves. As Keith said, wash your hands, take care of yourself, take care of your family, really think of self-care, think of caring for your family members, check on people that you know about, that you don't think about, work to think about who needs to be checked on. People appreciate a call. So with that, I adjourn the meeting. Thank you all. It's really good to see you. Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Everyone.